Sonic Central is right around the corner. What can we expect from it? Let's discuss. Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, bringing you guys another video, and in this video today, I just needed to talk about this. While all of the Sonic Racing Crossworlds marketing and promo is going on, there is just a constant discussion and eyes from the fans towards the future. We want to know what's coming next, and usually our way of getting that is in the annual Sonic Centrals. Now, these things we usually thought were, they're going to happen during the summer, but last year proved that Sonic Central can happen as late as September 24th, which is when it happened last year. Funny enough, Sonic Racing Crossworlds release date is September 25th. I'm not saying that they're going to drop a Sonic Central right around the game. I don't think that would make any sense. But it would be baffling if we didn't get another Sonic Central this year. It's proven that Sega, regardless of how much they have to show or not, at least want to give us an update and some stuff to look forward to, which is quite appreciated. Thank you, Sega. And I kind of wanted to talk about what we could look forward to, the definitive stuff that we have on the way for the Sonic franchise, and also some bold predictions I want to make about some things that we might see there. Firstly, let's talk about dates. When are we going to get this thing? Well, like I said, last year we received this in September. It's not just a June or July summer thing. No, these can really happen whenever Sega thinks that they're appropriate to release during the year. And with Sonic Racing Crossworlds coming out in late September, I don't think they're going to want to drop a Central that close to its release date. They're going to want to give it a few weeks of time so they can still do some promo for Sonic Racing Crossworlds in it. So that's my number one prediction. It's going to be before Crossworlds comes out. So either sometime in August or early September. Don't think I'm a genius if this happens. I think it's basic common sense. Like, why wouldn't they want to promo Crossworlds? Like, it'd be ridiculous. Now, I've actually been quite impressed by Sonic Racing Crossworlds marketing campaigns so far. They've done some good things, like all of the crossovers that they've announced, having it sponsor the Kids' Choice Awards, doing all of these different events and pop-ups and online advertisements. They've been doing a great job with it, but I think to really solidify a solid marketing campaign for the game, toss a Sonic Central in there so you can promote. So that kind of transitions us into what we're going to get. I think that they're going to use it as an opportunity to talk about Crossworlds like they've done in the past few Sonic Centrals. Like in last year's we got Sonic X Shadow Generations, the year before that Sonic Superstars, and yada yada. This will definitely show off some new things about the game, maybe some new tracks, maybe some new characters, maybe some new DLC, but the Sonic Centrals have proven that they're just going to show off the upcoming game for just a bit, maybe more than some other things, but they're going to talk about a lot of different stuff in there. So what can we expect? What are some of the upcoming things that we have to look forward to? Let's talk about it. This year is unfortunately a little dry for Sonic, not entirely barren. We've had some cool things. We are going to get a cool thing, but in comparison to like 2024, in comparison to 2022, not that much. And with it already being almost August at the time I'm releasing this video, there's not enough time to start promoting a new game that's going to come out this year. But that does not mean I don't think that they are going to announce a new game. Sonic's 35th anniversary is next year, and we saw that they weren't afraid to tease Sonic Frontiers in 2021, well over a year before the game's official release date. And I do strongly think we are going to get the next main series Sonic game in 2026. Frontiers came out in 2022. It's been a nice 4-year gap between the release of that game and by the time that the holiday season of 2026 rolls around. So I think we're going to get a very, once again, cryptic teaser trailer along the lines of that first Frontiers trailer, this Sonic Central, and I think they're going to save it for the very end. I couldn't really see it being another title. Sega's talked about how, they're not really looking at doing adventure remakes or anything right now. I don't really see them teasing a remaster of a game like Unleashed and bringing that to modern consoles as the big tease towards the end. That's kind of something you kind of kick off a Sonic Central with. The same way they kicked off the first Sonic Central with Sonic Colors Ultimate. I strongly believe we're going to get the tease for the next main series Sonic game at this next Sonic Central. And that's really the number one pillar of Sonic. I believe the pillars of Sonic are video games, movies, TV shows, and comic books. And then you kind of have the merchandising pillar, but not a lot of fans really pay mind to that, but it is a very important thing. As for movies, can we expect anything out of the Sonic movie universe? Unfortunately, I don't really think so. There has been promo for Sonic movies at the Sonic Centrals, but it's really just promo. I think they gave a featurette and like, hey, the movie's coming out, but they're not really going to drop anything crazy. This movie hasn't even properly started filming yet, Sonic movie 4 that is, and I don't believe they would be able to announce an entire new project or spinoff without it getting to the trades first. I'm of course referencing a potential Shadows spinoff movie or TV show. I simply think that there might be an acknowledgement very, very briefly that, hey, say Sonic Movie 4 is in production right now. Maybe they'll give an update. Maybe Jeff Fowler will send in a video. You never know. I think we'll hear about the Sonic movies, but don't expect to see anything significant from them whatsoever. TV, we're at a very interesting point right now with Sonic and TV. I think Sega has made a very smart decision and essentially just handing Sonic Prime off to Nickelodeon for a second life. I think it's been announced that the show will be entering a bunch of new countries, getting new dubs in like Africa and all of these different Asian markets, which is really exciting for the franchise, continuing to grow Sonic's global reach. And while there's been reports as far back as last year, I believe, that a new Sonic animated series is in development, I don't know if we're gonna hear about it just yet, or if they would announce that in a Sonic Central. I really hope that they do. That'd be a hope for me. I don't know if we're going to see that, mainly because, like I said, part of me thinks that Sega wants to continue riding the Sonic Prime wave that they're still on. In the minds of a lot of Sonic fans who kept up with the series and watched it on Netflix, after it ended in January of last year, people were kind of done with Sonic Prime and wiped their hands of it, but Prime is still going. IDW is releasing their graphic novels of Sonic Prime still, which is really just the episodes with speech bubbles. Toys are still on store shelves, and the show is airing right now on Nickelodeon, and it's still on Netflix too. The show was a big success for Sega, and I know a lot of Sonic fans are mixed on that show, but I don't know if they're ready to move off of it by announcing a new animated series just yet. I still think that we might be around half a year to a year away from hearing about a new Sonic animated series, but don't rule it out completely. We can still very much see that. But in terms of animation, I do think that there's other stuff that we can get. We know that there is going to be an animated prequel prologue thing to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds that we are getting. I'm really excited for that. We know that the animation is coming in September, so depending on when the Central happens, we could maybe see the entire thing get released at the Sonic Central. We can maybe get a teaser for it at the Sonic Central, and then the entire thing will drop. We'll see what happens, but I believe we'll have something about that there. I don't think that they're going to announce a new web anything, whether it's a web series or another short. I think if they're going to talk about their independent Sega animations that they do in-house, I think it's just going to be that short, and the slight off chance that we get an announcement of a new entire animated series. That is very much so happening. It has to. Animation is such a big part, and specifically TV is a big part of the Sonic brand. They're gonna have to make a new one at some point, but like I said, Prime is still doing very well for them, and I don't think they're ready to completely kill that off just yet. I know Jakks Pacific has way too many Prime stuff still in their inventory. As for the comics, I think they might be like, hey, we have comics, but Sonic Central's never really focused on the comics. Heck, the Sonic franchise never really focuses on the comics. It's kind of in its like own little space, its own little pocket dimension. There's been some rumblings with them bringing Sage into the comics, which, by the way, Sega is taking the Sage character so seriously. This character is now in the comics. They're getting added to Racing Cross Worlds. Like, I liked Sage character, but do we need to push her this much? I still rock with her though, don't kill me, chat. But yeah, they never really focus on the comics that much. They release when they release. There's like its own little fan base in the Sonic community, but so much of the Sonic fan base doesn't read those. I'm sure there are people watching this video right now nodding their heads like, yeah, I don't really read those. I know like large people, like large figures in the Sonic community who people look at as like Sonic gods, Sonic historians who don't read the comics. So I don't really think that they're gonna touch that much. They don't really touch on a lot when it comes to publishing, when it comes to books or anything. I do think we're gonna hear a lot about the Sonic DC collab. It's been said that they're gonna continue the crossover into 2026. So I think we're gonna get a lot more looks at merchandise. Jakks Pacific's figures have recently been revealed, which has been super cool. More merchandise is coming out. I think the Pops were just revealed as well. They're taking this very seriously. I think we're gonna get a look, kind of a teaser at what the future of this line is going to look like, of these comic books. I am hoping, I am praying, can't stress this enough, the number one thing I want to see from the Sonic DC collab is an animated movie. Please, Sega, Warner Brothers, make it happen. There was the Ninja Turtle Batman crossover movie, which was super cool, and I'm sure that was a whole kind of rights battle with Warner Bros. And Paramount, but Sega and DC are working together so tight. I got to imagine that that's at least on the table. Please let it happen. That's a hope. I'm not saying to expect that, but I really hope that when they talk about Sonic and DC, that's one of the things they announce, that an animated film is coming. Of course it would be direct to DVD or streaming, but I don't care, dude. I don't need to see that in the theater. I just need it, simply. That'd be so cool. It'd be 2D animated, most likely. So it'd be our first 2D animated Sonic movie since the OVA, which is barely even a movie. I know fans would eat that up, and it'd actually be a way to get them to consume that thing that's going on with Sonic right now, because not everybody, like I said, reads the comics. They of course do their merchandise showcases. I don't really know what's on the docket for Lego right now. I know there's one set coming out, which is a truck. They might promo that a bit, but I don't think they have like too many sets on the way. I don't know, maybe I'm out of the loop and there's like a bunch of leaked set names and stuff that's happening, but whenever they talk about merch, they just focus on Lego, so I kind of wanted to talk about Lego, but I'm sure we'll get some looks at new things, which is super cool. Hopefully Jax has some like surprises up their sleeve that we don't know about just yet. But outside of that, I really don't know what else we can get. I think I've gone over all the hypotheticals, the likely scenarios, stuff I expect to see, some stuff I hope for, would really like to see. The stuff that I don't think that we're gonna get, that I really want, is a new TV show announced, an animated DC Sonic crossover movie, and I don't think this is gonna happen, but like maybe the announcement, hey, Shadow spin-off in development, that would be so cool, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Do not expect that. I think the first two I listed are more likely than that one actually happening. Notice how I didn't include the next Sonic game being teased there though. I think that's very likely. I can almost assure you, if there is going to be a Sonic Central this year, they gotta tease the next Sonic game there. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. Sega loves using Jeff Keighley events to announce their stuff now. Crossworlds was first teased at the Game Awards, and then we got a follow-up at the State of Play, I believe, which isn't a Jeff Keighley event, but still. They like using events, really, to announce a lot of their games now, but I don't know, I think at least a little teaser would be nice. I know Sega isn't really trying to do crazy stuff with Sonic Centrals anymore. They're kind of just a way of getting info and some news to fans. The first Sonic Central was a very big deal. It was our first real piece of Sonic anything news, like proper Sonic news, in so long. I think people need to remember that the last Sonic game we had up to 2021, I think is when the Sonic Central happened, was Team Sonic Racing in 2019. And we had no news. We knew nothing about an upcoming game. The first movie just kind of came out. I think the second one was in the works, but we didn't really know much about what was going on there. They announced like 3 games at the first Sonic Central, which was sick. And it had so much news and all that kind of stuff. It was so fun. And they've kind of like simmered down ever since. I like the last one, I believe, but we'll see how they handle it going forward. I do want to see a new game be announced at a Sonic Central. I really hope for that. But anyways, guys, I've yapped about this long enough. That's what I expect and hope to see at the Sonic Central, and also some things that I think are unlikely but would still enjoy seeing. This is where I pass off to you and ask what you think. What do you think about a new Sonic Central happening? When do you think it's going to happen? And more importantly, what do you hope to see? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links to my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those my secrets of my life, feature content, and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed. This is the #1 decision on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comic books, merchandise, all of that stuff. We're here to talk about it. I'm so sorry, guys. I would like to release a lot more than 1 video a week. And trust me, I have some really cool stuff in the works. I just am now getting into some voice recording and production on some big video essays that I'm really excited to get out for you guys. But Sonic news has been very slow, but I'm still your guy. We'll still discuss everything. I'm still trying to get as much content out to you guys as possible. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to far away.